Ukraine is launching its own ballistic missiles into mass production. The Sapsan is already in action. NATO has gathered in The Hague and is announcing strong support for Ukraine to defend its skies. Trump promises to meet with Zelenskyy, and the Ukrainian armed forces have destroyed a Russian Zoopark radar in the Kursk region. The price per unit exceeds $24 million. Hello, my name is Yulia Kokan, and right now, here are the main stories. But first, like this video if you support Ukraine and subscribe to our channel so we don't lose each other on YouTube. Russians should stock up on water because it's about to begin. Ukraine is actively working on the production of its own Sapsan ballistic missiles. In an interview with The Times, the head of the president's office, Andriy Yermak, said that Sapsan has not only already been used against the Russians, but has also entered mass production.
When asked whether the Sapsan missile is capable of striking Moscow, which is 480 kilometers from the Ukrainian border, Andriy Yermak replied, "Things are going very well. I think we will be able to surprise our enemies more than once." "We definitely know how to surprise the world," Yermak said. "That's not a bad habit. It's better to see something in action than to hear my words. Let's leave it at that," he concluded.
So soon, all of us together will be watching and saying,
"I like how it burns so brightly and intensely, how people are chaotically and frantically running around everywhere, how the big red fire trucks eventually arrive. People are in shock, their eyes are practically popping out."
There aren't many details about the Sapsan ballistic missile. Its range still remains a mystery, but the media suggests it's around 482 kilometers, give or take. Its warhead is twice as large as that of the ATACMS, containing about 480 kilograms of explosives. There isn't much data on its speed either, but journalists suggest that the Ukrainian Sapsan ballistic missile is capable of flying at 5 times the speed of sound. Alongside such a source of pride, we also have some news from the enemy side. Let me remind you, just recently, Putin announced the serial production of the Oreshnik.
The serial production of the newest medium-range missile system, Oreshnik, is being launched, which has proven itself very well in combat conditions.
Of course, Putin can rattle his Oreshnik as much as he wants, but Ukraine has its own ballistic missiles, strength and willpower. And that is exactly what the Russians cannot overcome. Meanwhile, the NATO summit has begun in The Hague, which will last from June 25th to 26th. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelenskyy has already arrived there, managed to meet with Dutch Prime Minister Dick Schoof, and commented on the cooperation between the countries.
"I want to thank you for the military package that you have already announced. I know the details. I will be grateful."
The media are already reporting that NATO is preparing a powerful statement regarding drones and air defense for Ukraine, and that the support will be extensive. This was stated by Dutch Prime Minister Dick Schoof.
Yes, I hope that at this summit and around it, it will be clearly visible that we fully support Ukraine financially, economically and militarily. And that there will also be announcements about our support for Ukraine, as the Secretary General mentioned at the opening of the public forum. Our Minister of Defense also spoke about this morning during a morning broadcast. I think later we will make a bigger announcement specifically about drones and air defense missiles, because this is important. Ukraine's security is important not only for itself, but also for Europe and therefore for NATO. Thank you. Goodbye, goodbye.
In addition, the Ukrainian president met with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte and held a joint press conference with him.
Okay. Hi, Mark. How are you doing today? I truly hope everything is going well for you. This message is just to check in and say thank you so much indeed. I sincerely appreciate it.
The day before, in an interview with Sky News, Volodymyr Zelenskyy said that he expects to meet with American President Donald Trump at the summit.
Yes, I am planning to. I don't know how it will go. To be honest with you, the team is working on it. Yes, we are planning to meet.
The upcoming meeting between Zelenskyy and Trump has already been discussed by the head of the president's office, Andriy Yermak, and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Yermak himself shared this information on his Telegram channel. The White House has also confirmed Trump's plans to meet with Zelenskyy during the NATO summit. Sky News reported this.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine today. Join us now.
The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense announced that NATO has allocated nearly $43 million to Ukraine for satellite communications for the armed forces. Ukraine has joined key alliance initiatives in the fields of communications, management and computer technologies. In addition, equipment is being provided and training is being conducted to strengthen air defense. Well, while we wait for other interesting and high-profile decisions regarding Ukraine. And right now, let's move on to news from the front and the successes of our armed forces. Ukrainian intelligence officers have destroyed a Russian company command and observation post. The occupiers were eliminated by the 34th Separate Coastal Defense Brigade of the Marine Corps. Moderator. Meanwhile, in the Kursk region, the UA REG team took out a Zoopark radar system while it was being deployed. The price of a single unit exceeds $24 million, and it is used to detect our artillery firing positions and to adjust enemy fire. But that's not all. Footage from the Kherson region is going viral online. There, Ukrainian fighters destroyed a Russian boat carrying troops near the Tendrivska Spit. See for yourself. Well, and next are some shots that will surprise you just as much. This is the so-called Road of Death in Nesteryanka. Fighters from the Special Unit of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, the Freedom of Russia Legion, are destroying the logistics of the Russian invaders. Thanks to the Legion's precise strikes, one of the enemy's key logistical routes in the Zaporizhia region, the road near the village of Nesteryanka, has become virtually impassable for enemy forces. The coordinated actions of the Legion and Ukrainian defense forces are causing losses for the occupiers in manpower and equipment, making it impossible for the Russians to advance here. In intercepted communications, the invaders refer to the route as the Road of Death. And now to some discouraging news. The enemy has occupied Novomikhailivka and has also advanced near Radkivka, Hrekivka, Nelipivka, Romanivka, Novotoretske, as well as in Holubivka and Leonivka. This is confirmed by data from Deep State. And now, a bit of statistics from the occupiers themselves. Since the beginning of 2025, 94 aerial bombs and 3 missiles have fallen on the territory of Russia and the parts of Ukraine occupied by Russia. This was reported by the Russian telegram channel Astra. In particular, in June, aerial bombs repeatedly fell from Russian aircraft. On June 11, a Fab-500 left a crater in the village of Dovyi Kolodyaz in the Kursk region. And from June 2 to June 21, at least 10 Fabs fell in the areas of the Baltseve, Makivka, Belgorod region, Volnovaka district, Yasinovata and Kornokain. In the meantime, please like this video and write words of support for our defenders. We know for sure that they are watching us. Russia is preparing for new military operations already on NATO territory. This was stated by the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy.
Volodymyr Zelenskyy, and our intelligence confirms this. Russia is planning new military operations on NATO territory. This means that your country is in this war that is currently happening in Ukraine. They are preparing.
Moderator. Moreover, Bloomberg also reports that the Russian dictator Putin is preparing to attack NATO countries. As noted in the publication, the small but strategically important Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania are the first in the risk group.
News Voice. In such a scenario, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania on NATO's northeastern flank would become the most likely flashpoint. These 3 Baltic countries make up a small share of the European economy, but strategically they are of critical importance.
Moderator. The article states that significant Russian-speaking communities live in these countries. The borders with Russia and Belarus are open. According to estimates by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Russia may attempt to attack within the next 5 years. This is forcing countries to take emergency measures. And what do you think is Putin preparing to attack NATO? Write your thoughts. Meanwhile, it seems like World War III is unfolding by the minute. Last night, Iran attacked US military bases. Moderator, sirens went off in as many as 9 Middle Eastern countries at all American bases. At that moment, Qatar, the UAE, Iraq, Bahrain and Kuwait closed their airspace. US bases in Qatar were attacked. But of course, all targets were intercepted by air defense systems. According to Qatar's Ministry of Defense, Iran's strikes did not result in any casualties. CNN reports that no alarm was raised for the city's residents and no one was urged to take shelter. However, it is known that Iran warned the US that an attack would take place in order to minimize casualties, so the base itself was almost empty. As a result, nothing American was damaged and nothing actually hit its target. Overall, the retaliation was carried out very cautiously, but Qatar is angry.
The state of Qatar strongly condemns the attack on the Al Udeid airbase carried out by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and considers it a brazen assault and a blatant violation of Qatar's sovereignty and airspace.
In response, Trump stated that Iran's retaliation was rather weak, since nothing was destroyed. He said that the Iranians have probably vented their anger and hopes that there will be no more hatred. A White House spokesperson said that the US president does not want further military intervention in the region. Simply brilliant. But then Saudi Arabia also joined in the aggression against Qatar. They immediately stood up for Qatar, declaring their readiness to respond to Iran's brazen incursion into Qatar's airspace. As a result, now Egypt, Jordan, Bahrain, Oman, Kuwait, and even the same Emirates have supported Qatar and are ready to help deal with Iran. If I'm not mistaken, Trump wanted to stop all wars in the world when he first became president. However, it seems that things really didn't work out that way. Even Macron supported Qatar, but he's calling on everyone to de-escalate. As Trump later wrote, Iran and Israel agreed to a complete ceasefire, and it has already begun. And here's the question: how long will this truce last? It seems not. Because while all these statements about a ceasefire were being made, Iran was launching missiles at Israel, according to the IDF. Meanwhile, Iranian state television denies that Tehran has violated the ceasefire.
Israel and Iran have no idea what the hell they're doing.
What on earth is going on over there? One thing is clear: that was the shortest truce in the world. Meanwhile, a trend has already gone viral on TikTok. What I'll wear to World War III. The trend appeared after tensions escalated between Israel, Iran, and the US. And what are you planning to wear? Or is it okay to go without clothes in the trenches? Like this video to support what we do, and be sure to subscribe to our channel Ukraine Today so you don't miss the next episodes. See you next time.